You feel like your spending is out of control and it's time to really reel it back as we get into 2024. We know coming up with a plan is going to make a big difference, guys, not only going into the new year with the resolutions that people actually set, but how many of those actually stick with it, which is kind of crazy to think. Financial resolutions are a lot more than joining a gym and working out every day, because for a majority of people to change the behaviors in life do take an incredible amount of time and effort, and really focusing on the time that you're going to spend can change your entire life, not only on the physically fit side, but also on the financial side. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about plans in 2024 to really start saving and start that cycle, guys. We know roughly 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. You couple that with rising inflation, savings accounts have been drained, or savings accounts have not even been a thought for a majority of people for a considerable amount of time. But let's go ahead and break this down, guys. Number one, starting with very small goals. Now, this fundamentally is going to get you into the savings mindset, and it can lead to having small goals turn into larger goals, turning into more of a milestones as you continue to knock them out one by one. This could be as easy as really beginning to putting $5 to $10 a week into a savings account. Again, we know that is not a lot of money, but for a majority of people that are currently saving zero, we even see a lot of people that are not putting money into 401ks, not putting anything into Roth contributions. Even if you step it up by 1%, guys, that is literally the incremental step, or the first real step that you can goal of putting that 1% away. And trust me, you're not going to feel it as much as you think when you're putting 1% or 2% in a 401k, especially if you have a company match, guys. You want to make sure that is matched, and the little, very small adjustment in your income is not going to make a big difference. Now, also with this, guys, is coming in January, a majority of individuals do get pay raises. When you get a pay raise, set that 1% aside, or set that money into a savings account to really knock out that small goal. And in conjunction with the pay raise, it's not going to seem like you're missing any money at all, and you might even stay net positive depending what you make. Now, number two, don't lose sight of the longer term. That is right, guys. As much as we do want to focus on what is going on today, focusing on those short-term goals that we can hit within the next probably, month or two, we want to make sure the long-term goal is still there as well. Really checking that box is when you look at retirement, when you look at school, when you look at kind of the financial planning aspect, it always has to be kind of front of mind, honestly. When I look at a lot of individuals that I deal with financial counseling, most of them, when you ask them, what's the next year look like financially? They have a complete blank look on their face. When you start getting into the next 3 to 5 years, it is really just a gap that I see with individuals right now when it comes to the long-term thinking, or even getting out of that paycheck to paycheck mindset, really creating wealth. And I had an individual today that wants to retire in 2 years. Well, guess what? We have a plan. We came up with a plan, exactly how we're going to budget it, exactly what's going to go kind of paycheck to paycheck to pay off that long-term thinking. Retirement is the goal. 2 years is the timeline to get there. How are we going to eliminate all of the debt, possibly including the mortgage within the next 2 years? Very short amount of time frame, but you know what? When the long-term goal means a lot to you, you will take a lot of different approaches and a lot of extenuating circumstances to really hit that goal if it is something you want to do. Now, for a lot of people, this might not be retirement, but it could be sending your kids to school. It could be taking that dream vacation. Guys, if you like to do things, put it in a budget. Make sure you know that you're not going to miss out on life itself, because money is always going to be there, guys. You're always going to be able to find a job. There's going to be Social Security. There's going to be retirement. There's going to be a lot of different things. You have to budget and live your life. And I say this with all of the budgeting videos. If you like to go to the movies, if you like to eat, if you like to go on vacation, if you like to do extravagant things, if, regardless of what you love to do and what you're passionate about, if it works in the budget and you can budget to doing that. So let's say you want to take a vacation to Florida every single year. You want to go on a cruise every year. Perfect. That's great. How much is it going to run? How much can we budget? What do we have to cut back? What is the financial plan, the long-term and the shorter-term financial plan to get that done? Number three, provide yourself with peace of mind. This is huge, guys. When you start paying off debt, it is really a game changer. You will literally change your life. You will feel better. Your mental health, your physical health, you will feel better when you're not worrying about debt. When you start automating your payments, when you make sure you have a budget, when you start eliminating debt, you're going to soon and quickly realize that you're keeping a lot more of your paycheck in your account, wherever you may have it. It is a game changer. Again, the mental and the physical aspect both go hand in hand when it comes to finances. And we also know when it comes to having a spouse, a partner, even having kids, guys, when it comes to money, that is still the number one thing that people do fight about, is finances in general. The more that you can educate yourself, the more that you can protect yourself, the more that you can pay off and relieve yourself of the stress of having debt, is going to be a game changer for the rest of your life. Number 4, guys, stop obsessing. This is something that I hear all the time. And the quote here says, Rome was not built in a day. It really happens in time, guys. When you look at your debt and you look at, let's say credit card debt, for instance, you didn't accumulate that credit card debt in the last 20 days. For a majority of people, it has been months, possibly even years, some of them even decades, that they accumulated credit card debt. And it's got to the point where it is almost become like a second child, that is on the side, that you always have, and it is always there. We see the exact same with mortgages. If you're taking them out for 30 years and carrying them for 30 years, guys, you're paying for your home twice. When you have credit card debt, you just roll it month to month. Again, same individual that came in today, has been together with his now wife for 6 years. She has had the same credit card debt maxed out for 6 years that they have been together. Coming up with a plan to pay that out and really get rid of that is going to make a big difference, guys. Now, also with this comes the investment piece. When you look at investing, you have to take the emotions out of investing. And this is really probably one of the most difficult hurdles of my life that I have had and that I've really faced, is when you think of investing, you are talking the ultimate long-term retirement game. The balances are going to go up. The balances are going to go down in a market. Don't check it every day. Don't check it every week. Might want to check in once a month, see where it is. Making sure that your portfolio is almost on autopilot, meaning that just like we do in my finance videos, we put $1,000 into the market every single week. If the market's up, that means we're buying less. If the market's down, that is hooray, time to really celebrate, because we're buying a lot more of those ETFs that we're investing in, which can make a really big difference. I do personally like when the market is down, because we're buying through dollar cost averaging, meaning that everything is discounted and everything is on sale. Now, of course, you want to make sure, guys, that you're also protecting your assets. When it comes to 401ks, you're not taking loans against them. You're not borrowing against them. You are sacrificing your retirement if you go ahead and taking out that money. We see the exact same when it comes to home equity products. Unfortunately, when you're taking out a home equity product, you are turning your home essentially into a liability, because you're pulling out the equity that is in the house. Now, I know for a lot of people, this is a consolidation method. This is a home improvement method. In my opinion, when it comes to home equities, the one and only time that you should ever use home equities, and I really kind of teeter on this one too, is if you're bringing a lot more value to the home that you're putting money into. It is not meant to be a tool for debt consolidation. It is not meant to be a tool for weddings, for, doing vacations. There's so many things that we have seen the money used for, and it really is just writing a blank check, which is against your house, which I do not like at all, guys. So definitely knowing what you're planning on 2024, make sure you have some goals, guys. Write them down. Don't put them in your head. Don't put them, just down in your phone. Write them down on a piece of paper, put them on a sticky note, put them on your monitor, put them in your bathroom mirror, put them everywhere that you do visit on a regular basis. That is what I do personally, is writing down the goals, making sure I have them in different places so I know exactly what we're looking to do in the upcoming years. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what kind of goals we're looking at 2024, what you're planning financially. It can be personal, it can be financial, whatever it is. Let me know what you guys are thinking for 2024. And as always, thank you guys for watching.